Oh boy, here we go. This is some craziness here. And these problems too, if you look at your book, it says 7.5 minutes, so you know it's going to take me double that time. So pause the video, draw yourself a picture, and calculate these 4 answers. Do the best you can. And then you'll have to break this picture down and draw some other triangles, I'm sure. Remember, this is trigonometry, so it's all about triangles. Ready, pause, spend 15 minutes, come back here. Okay, here I go, and this is some work. So here we go. Calculate the length of NS. So the NS is on this face here. Not that D there, but this NAB. And so I want to calculate this length here. Well, the height, I mean, not the height, but there's some crazy word like frustrum or something. The length of each of these going up to the top of the pyramid, to the apex there, is 10. So this shouldn't be so bad, and the bottom we know is 8. So we know this is 4. So if I let's see, let's go up here for this one. Let's draw this triangle. Oop, am I a little off the page? Let me try to move this without everything falling apart. Okay, so I'll redraw this. This isn't so bad. So I know this base is 4, and this is 10. So what's the length of NS? Well, don't forget the real basic trig, right? 4 squared plus, I don't know what we should call that. Let's call it NS. This is N, this is S, and this is B. So 4 squared plus NS squared equals 10 squared. So NS equals the square root of 100 minus 16. NS equals the square root of 84, which will be a little more than 9. I forget how many significant figures they wanted on this. I didn't write it down. So just square root of 84. 9 point, I think they wanted 3 significant figures. I can't remember. On some of these it is 9.165. 9.165 centimeters. Okay. What's the area of NAB? So they want this area of this front triangle on here. So, hey, well, they're walking us right along. This is nice. They're helping us out on this problem. So we already have this height of the triangle. So I can just draw this. Might help. Each time when you got these 3D figures, it's helpful to write down so this is my 9.165. It's helpful to break it down to the 2-dimensional figure that you want, and this is my base. So if I want the area equals 1/2 base times height. So, and if you're going for your sig figures, go ahead and keep that original answer with all the decimal places. And then 1/2 of 8 is 4. So let's just multiply by 4. Times 4. And that'll give us our best significant figures there. 36.661 centimeters squared. Okay. There we go. Part C. The surface area of the entire pyramid. Well, that's not so bad. You already found. So like I said, they're stepping you along here. You don't have to think too much. There's 4 of those triangles, right? Face 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 triangles plus the bottom, right? The surface area of the bottom. They want the surface area. So that's going to be your 8 times 8, right? 8 times 8 for the bottom. This is surface area equals the bottom of it plus 4 times 36.661. Right. There's 4 of those triangles, so that's how you get your surface area. Okay. There, once again, I still have that in my calculator, so I'm going to multiply that times 4 plus, what was it? 8 times 8, 64, equals 210.642. If they're still wanting those significant figures, 210.642. Now that is centimeters squared, right? Because it's surface area, right? Area is square meters. Okay, angle DNB. Okay, where is that angle? Let's see. So there's D is in the far corner over here. NB. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. So this is this across this here. It wants to know this angle, like hanging down from the roof. DNB. Oh, well, that might be fun. I guess we're going to have to find this here. So once again, let's draw this triangle that we want. So I've got D, and it's going through that center there. It's going through, so there's point O, and there's B, and there's N. Well, we know D to N and N to B is 10, and that's 10. What do we want to get again here? The angle. So to calculate that angle, well, what do you think we're going to use? I think we need to find this length here. What is that length there? Remember, the base of this thing is a square. So this corner, angle DAB is a 90-degree angle. So you got side squared plus side squared equals hypotenuse squared. The diagonal of that square is a hypotenuse. Okay. Oh yeah. And what's the shortcut to that one? Since it's a special right triangle, half of a square. This side here is side times square root of 2. So we'll wind up with this side over here, this base of this triangle, right? This triangle is this one hanging down from the roof, kind of this one standing vertically, right? That is, this side over here is 8 square root of 2. That's this length from D to B. Okay, so this is some people, this stuff works for your brain real well, and some people, spatial stuff is a little more difficult. I hope it's all working out for you. And now that I have this, I want to find this angle right here, angle DNB. How do I find that angle? Okay, it's what we learned in last lesson. I have all 3 sides of a triangle, and I don't have any angle. How do I find an angle? I've got this opposite side. This side, 8 square root of 2 squared equals 10 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 10 times 10 times the cosine of that angle I want. Let's just call it angle N right now. So side, if you wanted to line this up all up, I've got side, or this would be side C, and here's your B, your A, and your B, and this is angle A. So, but I did it right. Opposite sides squared equals these 2 sides added together minus 2 times AB times the cosine of that angle. And so that's what I want to find. So what's the whole thing I'm going to have to take, I'll have the cosine of N equals 8 square root of 2 squared minus 100 minus 100 minus 200 divided by negative 200. and I'll take the cosine inverse of that. So n equals, I think this takes longer. I think it takes more like 10 minutes. But the more you practice it, maybe, I don't know how time crunched that test will be for you. We'll talk about that more, but on a Zoom meeting maybe. So I go with cosine inverse, shift, cosine inverse of all that stuff. Let me see if I can put it all in there. Brackets, got a double bracket now. 8 square root of 2. Oh, brother. I'm going to do that separately then, right? 8 square root of 2 squared is going to be 64 times 2, right? If I do 8 times square root of 2 times 8 times square root of 2, it's 64 times 2, which is 128. So let's just do that. So I'm going to have 128 minus 200. So that gives us our negative. Minus 200 equals minus 72 on top, divided by minus 200. Of course, gets me a positive number, positive 0.36. So I'm going to take cosine inverse of 0.36. Shift, cosine inverse, 0.36. That's my trig ratio there. 60, and I didn't take a good guess at it, but anyway, I'm going to get 68.9 degrees. I don't know if that's what you got. That's what I got. All right, I have pretty high confidence in that. And now, what's the last thing they want? Part E. The angle between A and B, the angle between this triangle, A and B, and D in C. Whew. Okay, well that's a whole lot of fun there. So the angle between NAB, right? A and B, the angle between this triangle, this face, it's hard to see, let's see, and the back, so let's see, if I had let's draw this, like this is the front face, right? And then I got that back face, it's hard to picture. And I want the angle between these two, up at the top. So that angle is the same as if I was doing the angle, if I put a point back here and I called it, instead of S, it's called T. That angle will be the same as this angle, like this height, the height of this NAB, the height of triangle ANB, NS, and the height of triangle DNC, NT. So I want to know the angle SNT. So this is I'm wanting to know angle SNT. Now, how do I know that? Well, I do know this distance across here would be 8. So let me draw this. I'm going to draw this triangle. I'm going to draw a triangle S, and there's T, and there's N, the top of the triangle. So, I can't hardly get to it's going to be sideways on here just for a second. I won't do this the whole time. But this is the triangle I want. Triangle NST. And then I want to know this angle NST. Okay? So did we find, oh yes, we found the length of NS already. All right, that was step A. That was the first step. And then NT would be the same thing. So once again, we're going to use we're going to do the same thing again. This law of cosines is very helpful. So the length of NS, we'd already found 9.165. The length of ST is just the base of the, I hope this is not wanting to find the angle NAC. think that's what we already found in AB. We found that area. Angle, what was the last one we did? Angle DNB. DNB. No, we already found that one. So we're wanting to find the angle between these triangles, which I'm satisfied as angle SNT. So I want this angle right here. And this is 8 here, the base of it, and you got 9.165. Okay, so we want to know that angle. Once again, this is, you know, 3 sides, and you don't know any angles, so we use that very handy the opposite side, right? 8 squared equals 9.165 squared plus 9.165 squared minus 2 times 9.165 squared, right? It would be that times that. Cosine of angle, the angle we want. I'm just going to call it N. Okay, so if you can just put all this in your calculator, let's see if we get the same answer here. You go ahead. If you haven't got that far, it'd be helpful to pause it now and put all this in and see if you get the same answer. So I'm going to get the cosine inverse of 64 minus 9.1 minus 9.1. I'm going to put all in there, but anyways, divided by negative 2 times 9.165 squared. Whew. Hope I can put all this in there correctly. And you can double check me. So shift cosine. So I think on that test, if you're given these, you must have to write a whole bunch down, and then if you mess up on the calculation, well, that you only lose a point or something, I hope. Okay, cosine inverse, I guess, let's put another bracket up there. Second bracket. 64 minus, let's see, minus 2 times 9.165 in that bracket, divided by a negative 2 times 9.165 squared in that bracket. That's my divided by, and then I guess I need one more bracket for the cosine. Yay, gave me a 105, really? Interesting. I would not have thought that. I may have gotten that one wrong. But you double check me, see what you think. If you want to rework this, that's what I get, 105.8 degrees. And this has been the longest video ever, so let's just call it good on that. And I'm satisfied with my breaking it all down, and that last calculation seems like it's too wide of an angle, but yeah, that doesn't seem correct. Yeah, I messed up somewhere in that calculation, but we could do it together if you really want to. I think I messed up on that calculation. Okay. I know what I did. This is supposed to be squared, and this is supposed to be squared. So you'll come out with a much smaller angle. So this is incorrect. That's wrong. But I don't want to make a 20-something minute video on just my mistake there on a calculator. Okay. Good luck, Kenda. We'll charge on to the next question.